My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video. Yo, what's going on, you guys? Hope you suckers is having a good day today. This is gonna, I guess, kind of be a follow-up video on the whole, Microsoft news that suckers been talking about. Ponies going crazy out here in these streets. They're like, oh, Sony, you have to bring back Killzone and Resistance, Socom, something, do something, Sony. Xbox think they won the whole damn generation, and this junk just started. Like, it's been a whole bunch of stuff going on in gaming, but that's good because for a while it was definitely dry out here in these gaming streets as far as the news goes. So at least at least we got something to talk about now. The whole Microsoft move, again, like I said, huge move, huge. And I wanted to squeeze this in that last bit, but again, it was like so much to talk about. I couldn't like just cover everything that I wanted to talk about in that one video. But I seen people bring up the fact that they weren't really a fan of that move that Microsoft did. Not so much from the standpoint like, oh, I'm a Sony pony or I'm a Nintendo and I don't like what you're doing, Microsoft. Like, not from that standpoint, but more of the standpoint like they don't want to see gaming become like a monopoly of sorts. If we go to like internet, with internet service providers, and some areas, if you ain't got Comcast, you ain't got no internet. Like, I guess like people don't want it to become this thing to where like, Microsoft is like acquiring all these huge freaking studios, and it's like it pretty much forces people to be like, I have to get one. Well, I do agree with people, and I don't want to see happen, even though I do like what Microsoft did with this move. What I don't want to see happen, and I hope doesn't happen, if in the next, 2 to 3, 4 years, like this doesn't become like a battle of like, the war of the acquisitions, like who can acquire who. Microsoft and Sony are trying to outbuy each other. Like, all right, sucker, I got Capcom, what's up? Oh, okay, I got From a Software. All right, I got Square Enix, what's up? All right, cool, I got Take-Two, what you gonna do? All right, bro, I got Nintendo, what's up? Like, I don't want that to happen. And yeah, I mean, at this moment, they are acquiring all these, studios and buying Bethesda and, now Activision Blizzard, and then at E3 2018, they had acquired new Xbox devs to make just Xbox games, but we haven't seen none of these games yet. So it's good that they're acquiring all these different things, but until the games actually start dropping, I mean, again, for these past few years now, Sony has had the luxury of pretty much just sitting back and just kind of being like, I mean, y'all ain't gonna apply no pressure, so we can just do whatever whenever we choose to do it. So they've had that luxury for a few years. So I think it's good that Microsoft is making these big moves, making gamers take notice. Like, oh snap, you see what Microsoft doing? What you suckers doing, Sony? I like that. A lot of Sony ponies out there feel like Sony has to counter this move. I don't necessarily feel like they have to. Sony is going to have the games regardless. I mean, who would you guys like to see if y'all are trying to play this game and you want Sony to, counter Microsoft? Who do you think would be interesting for Sony to pick up? Would it be Capcom? Would it be Square Enix? From Software? I've heard people, and again, the freaking people saying like they have to bring back Socom now. Like, first off, let's pump the brakes right now. Microsoft just acquired Activision Blizzard. They just got one of the biggest, if not the biggest, shooting franchise of all time. The biggest first-person shooter franchise of all time. And Socom is the answer to what Microsoft just did? Socom, bro? Let's be honest. as much as I love Socom, One, get it out of your head that that's happening. Suckers have been asking for Socom since like the Bush administration. Even when Socom was in its heyday, prime Socom. Socom was never like this huge PlayStation exclusive. It was like kind of, I want to say niche, but if you knew about it, great. If you didn't really care for it. So Socom, the answer to what Microsoft just did? No. Killzone? Killzone peaked at Killzone 2. Like, why is suckers now trying to pretend like they care about these franchises? I vividly remember, like, Killzone, even in its heyday, was struggling to get, it was one of those games that got sales, but it was never like this hugely successful franchise, even in its heyday. So now suckers are saying, oh, you have to do Killzone and Socom. You think that is the answer to freaking acquiring the biggest first-person shooter franchise of all time? Idiots! No. And this has been kind of like a weak point for Sony for a while. They don't have really any exclusive. And what's crazy is they used to have a lot of exclusive shooters. They had Resistance, they had Killzone, they had Socom, they had Mag, Haze, but as of late, they don't really have a lot of exclusive. Sony doesn't really have really any exclusive like multiplayer shooters, which is why people have been asking for factions since the freaking launch of Last of Us 2, because say what you want about Uncharted and Last of Us, yeah, most people, those games get most of the recognition because of the single player. At least when it had the multiplayer, it gave you something else. And say what you want, the Uncharted multiplayer, and especially Last of Us multiplayer, it kept people coming back, and people played it for years. So, it would definitely help if Sony had some exclusive multiplayer shooters, out there. So, I understand why people throwing out Socom and Killzone, but they ain't the answer. they're just really not, man. People are saying, oh, now Sony has to buy Take-Two. Why? Like, really, like, is this what we really want to happen in gaming? Do we really want this to happen to where, I mean, honestly, and I kind of edit. I mean, if you was back on the PS2 era for a while, we kind of did live through this at one point. PS2 was kind of its own monopoly for a time period. PS2 had all the games, bro. Remember when freaking Grand Theft Autos was dropping before? It was only on PlayStation 2. They had Grand Theft Auto. It was Kingdom Hearts. A freaking Final Fantasy. They had all the exclusives. So that's why so many people, you had to have a PS2 because it had all of the freaking games. But would we do we actually want this to happen again, to where it's like, if you don't have an Xbox or you don't have a PlayStation, it's like you're not playing these games? Like, I still have that old school mindset to where I still like having actual exclusives. Like, now it's console exclusives where you could play it on PC if you want to, and now it's console exclusives. Frick that. Like I do still like that. But at the same time, with like all these like multi-platform games that are known to be on multiple consoles, all of a sudden at the flip of a switch, it's just like you can only get it here now. Yeah, it's a good move for, whoever got them, but does it really help the industry? Like, I don't know. Is it good for the industry? Certain games, I think it is good to have on multiple platforms, especially, if people have become accustomed to playing these, big franchises on Xbox or PlayStation or PC or even freaking Nintendo. If all of a sudden they have to have something to play it, I don't. I mean, business is not fair, but at the same time, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair, and I don't really feel like it's good for the gaming industry in the long run. Where do you guys feel like the gaming industry is going? Do you feel like this is going to become like something of the norm to where, you know, Microsoft has, you know, these studios on their side, and Sony has these studios, and Nintendo's just doing whatever Nintendo does, you know, but it's gonna kind of be like a gaming monopoly. Again, I don't think that's a game that Sony wants to play with Microsoft, because Sony just can't. You are not going to outspend Microsoft. That's just something you're not going to do. So that's why, one, I don't think Sony should play this game. But if this is something we're going to play, you know, are you guys a fan of this happening? Do you feel like Sony needs to counter what Microsoft just did? Right now, I don't feel like they need to be honest. I really don't. In a few weeks or a few months from now, like Microsoft acquires like someone else, like Take-Two, then I'm gonna be like, bro, do something. So how do you guys feel like this is going to play out? How do you think, like, in the next 2 to 3 4 years the gaming industry will be like? Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next video, my brothers and sisters, I'll catch y'all boys in my next one. All right.